It's true. I was forced out of van life for 10 days. A terrible experience, a great experience. I'm going to share some snippets of that with you tonight. The costs involved with the van being in the shop, and 2 recommendations for you in case this happens to you. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in today. My name is Scott. I'm your host. Welcome to Go Small, Live Large. We are a YouTube channel dedicated to the RV lifestyle, Class B RV. That would be a van in particular. We share the learnings from the road, and you decide what's best for you. I've been full-time in my Winnebago Travato since February 2019. It is a 21-foot camper van, fully self-contained motorhome, and equipped with a Volta lithium-ion system. Love my Travato. The challenge is that it was in the shop for 10 days in a small town in Michigan, Holland, Michigan, at Crown Motors. What I wanted to do is share with you that experience, what caused me to go into the shop, what kept it in the shop, and talk through some of the warranty experience and where was I when I was homeless and carless for that duration. You might be wondering where I am. I'm in a vineyard in Indiana. Clearly the van's out of the shop, but look at this backdrop. Folks, this is the beauty of Harvest Host. Is this amazing? I'm in a vineyard alone. Well, Luke, yes, you're right. So, Harvest Host. If you're not familiar with Harvest Host, go to my website, check them out. You get 15% off to subscribe through me. I get a couple bucks, which is awesome. Thanks for that. The number one reason I love Harvest Host is because it takes me to places like this that I wouldn't otherwise be at. So explore Harvest Host and add that to your list if you haven't added that to your resources as an RVer. All right, so let's get into what in the heck happened. So here's the deal. If you want to get a lot of the detail, I had a YouTube live session where I went into great detail about this. I'm just going to cover this in a short amount of time tonight, so I stay mostly up to date because I got a lot more cool content coming. This is detail stuff that I think you guys are interested in, and I want to share with you. So the bottom line is my rig now has 48,000 miles on it. It had, 48-ish when I brought the rig in. The check engine light had been on for some time. It was an oxygen sensor. I knew it. I was driving it. Everybody said it was okay. I had at some point was going to get it remedied. And then when I got to Holland, Michigan, where I was to meet with the Volta team, the check engine light started flashing. If you look in the manual, it says if the check engine light is flashing, stop driving. So as usual, the check engine light just causes fear, panic, and uncertainty. I called the dealer in Holland, Holland, Michigan, Crown Motor, to get a reading of what it might be like and to make an appointment. They couldn't see me for a couple days. She said, yeah, don't drive, but I'm driving my house around. So it was running, but running rough. So I made an appointment on Saturday morning to have them plug it in to the system to read the codes. The codes were misfiring. Okay, misfiring. I was thinking computer stuff. But they couldn't really fix it. He said I shouldn't drive it, but I can't tell you not to drive it, and you'll probably be fine driving it for a couple days. Made another appointment on Tuesday, the following Tuesday, to bring it back with the expectation I would leave it for a few days. They would correct the problem. So what I did is I checked into a hotel, a Residence Inn hotel in the area. Tip on that coming up in a minute. And so they would have the van for a few days. I prepped it, removed most of the food, took what I needed for me and Luke the cat, and we moved into the hotel room on Monday. I dropped it off on Tuesday and expecting to get back probably on Friday. My state of charge gauge was at 100%, and I could run for 4 or 5 days on Volta on, inverter off, meaning no AC appliances on, and I knew I'd be good till Friday. So when I got the news that they replaced a few lifters and they were still getting the misfiring code, now we're talking Thursday and Friday, I was kind of like, well, this sucks. I'm going to have to leave the rig with you over the weekend and they're gonna look at it again on Monday, order up some new parts, and the new parts arrive on. So I'm like, okay, so here's the deal. Justin was really great at Crown Motors, really helped me out here, went the extra mile. He cleaned out my fridge and freezer at my request because the Volta system would have turned itself off in a state of like hibernation, which it's meant to do. And so I moved all of the remaining cold refrigerated items and freezer items. He put them into the fridge and freezer at the dealership. So thank you, Justin, for doing that for me. I had forgotten they had some good craft beer from Saugatuck, Michigan in there. So I'm glad we preserved that. So fast forward, and now it's Wednesday. They've ordered a cylinder head. Turns out they determined that cylinder head was the problem. That was what was given the misfiring reading. I had some strongly worded conversations with them that if they went through all this mechanical replacement and it turned out to be a computer that caused me to delay further, I was going to be really upset. But I did not want to have to go through all this only to learn that it was a computer thing. And by the way, they diagnosed the Saturday when I brought it in that it was cylinder head, but they went through these other steps to get to the point on that second week that it was a cylinder head. So the bottom line is the communication was kind of good up until Wednesday, and then they went dark. And if you have a service appointment experience with your automotive dealer, you know that the one person knows everything and nobody else knows anything. And it's kind of a sucky business model. I think it's supposed to be more personal in the end, but it's really nothing but frustrating. So nonetheless, on Friday, I had to be in Elkhart for an Embassy RV event. And yes, sir, we're going for a walk in a minute. And I was communicating by phone to Justin that I need to have this rig on Friday, come hell or high water. So on Friday, had heard nothing. So I had three options. One, to show up with me, my stuff, and my cat, and they'd have to deal with me. Call their porter service to come pick me up and bring me to the dealership. Or I would just rent a car and go to my Embassy RV dealer event, and then we would deal with it early the next week. But I really wanted to get on the road. So what I did is option number 2, and I did call. They did come pick me up. They brought me in, and the rig was literally just pulling out of the service bay as I got pulled in. And we kind of talked through what the issues were. And as to a cause, I don't know about you, but rarely do they give you a really firm answer on what caused the problem. I got no cause for the problem. The check engine light has stayed off. That's good. I've driven it about another 1,000 miles since then. And I would say I would give them a thumb up overall. Crown Motors for the quality of work. Wasn't really happy with the length of time. They're going to try and help me with some of the residents in because I felt the second week was unnecessary because they knew what the problem was up front. And again, I just don't know how the automotive world works, but they do all this stuff up to the big expense, and then they had to do it anyway. So he's going to try and help me out on the hotel bill. We'll see. So here's my tip. If you're stuck in a situation like this, choose a hotel like Residence Inn. Why Residence Inn? Well, it's like an apartment. I was literally in a 1-bedroom apartment. It had a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom, a living room, a work area. They allow pets, which was awesome. It was reasonable. It was $85 a night, and with taxes, it was just over $100 a night. So for 10 nights, the whole hotel bill was, wait for it, $1,078 out of pocket. The good news is the bill for all that work that they did at Crown Motors, which is page 1. Yes, sir. We're recording a video, Luke. Page 2 and page 3 came out to $0 out of pocket. $0 out of pocket for 10 days in the service bay. And not only did they fix the misfiring code, they checked the brakes. The brakes are still in great shape at almost 50,000 miles. She's a heavy girl. I still have 8 millimeters on the rear and 6 millimeters on the front. And apparently when you get down to 3 millimeters, that's when you need to change them. So I'm really impressed with the brakes. They did the safety recall on the transmission cable too, which has been overdue. So overall, the net of it is, it was a good experience I got the problem solved. I got a lot done while I was in a cloistered environment in a hotel room, including my 2019 taxes. And it was just a good experience on, if I got stranded someplace, I could do this. And that's my recommendation for you. Don't be afraid if you get in a situation like this, to just find a resource. In fact, a viewer said La Quinta offers a similar situation. We're Marriott members, so we kind of have some status on Marriott. Well, Kyle does, my partner. So that's why we chose Residence Inn. The Residence Inn team at Grandville, Michigan was awesome. The other nice thing about a Residence Inn is they have barbecue grilling areas. So I actually grilled a bunch of meat that I took from, or bought from the grocery store, which was an Aldi, which I'd never been to an Aldi before. And it was a little less than a half mile, a little more than a third of a mile round trip, walking, carrying groceries. When's the last time you did that? I couldn't tell you the last time I was carrying groceries by foot for that length of time. Again, just a lot of really great validations that I just love the RV lifestyle, because it just brought everything home that this is the way I love to roll. One of the weirdest and most sensational epiphanies I had is when in this rig, I'm going through the weather. I'm in the weather. I'm experiencing nature in its rawest form because I'm in a vehicle in it. And I'm driving through the weather, moving through the weather. And what I realized by being inside of a building, looking outside of a window, that the weather was going on around me, not me going through the weather. I much prefer going through the weather and being part of it. Rainstorms, thunderstorms, wind, sun, heat. To me, it's just part of the experience that makes RVing so real and so larger than life. I just want to bring you folks up to date. If you want to see the bigger story, go to my YouTube live that I did, a couple Saturdays ago. I'll link it here. If you haven't seen my video on the Harvest Host in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, I'll link that here. Be sure and check out my website. We have got a ton of events coming up, guys and gals. Including a camp out in Wallace, Idaho at the end of August. We've got a community gathering, which I'm now renaming to Roundups. I think that's what I'm gonna call it. We got one in Cincinnati and then in Chattanooga on August 10. So check my website frequently. If you haven't given me honored me with your email address, I'll put it in there because I send an email out once or twice a month about these upcoming events. The whole point is just to meet you and let you know what's going on so that we can help you with your RV dreams and either get you on the road or get you smarter as an RVer more quickly so you can do fun things like this. Yes, sir. You guys want to see Luke? Let's get Luke. So this is Vanlife Luke. You want to go for a walk, Luke? I know. See, he wants to go for a walk. So I need to edit and upload this real fast, Luke. And then we go for a walk. So with that, I thank you for watching. If you got something out of it, get a thumb up. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would really be honored with your subscription to the YouTube channel. You just get notifications from YouTube when I post new videos. That helps others find the channel. And we're growing like crazy right now. If you haven't seen my 60 minutes in a truck stop, everybody loves that video. It was fun to make. Apparently I talked about going number 2 too much. It's kind of part of the RV story though, right? So check out that video. I'll post it down below in the notes. So until we see you soon, I wish you to journey on. See you later. Okay, let's go. Come on. All right, I just have to say, does this cat know how lucky he is? He's been to the Craters of the Moon National Park. He's been to the beach. He's been to the mountains. He's been to the desert. And now he's walking a winery. Vanlife Luke.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want. 'Cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some. Feel your body losing up the tension. Baby, did I mention I'll be here for you? And my body show you new dimensions. Baby, did I mention this is what I do?
for those of you that gave me some comments about my virtual screen, you are right, it sucks, but that's the reason I was using a virtual screen. I was in a hotel room for 10 days. Pretty much sure you wanted to see some of the cool background, not the hotel room. Really appreciate you guys being honest with me. It's one of the greatest things about each and every one of you. What an amazing audience. Go small, live large. Thank you.